Caitlin Clark, Indiana Fever Championship timeline accelerated by sudden coaching change. History will say that a new era for the Indiana Fever began on April 15, 2024. That, of course, was the night that the franchise, which had yearned for any semblance of recent success, drafted Caitlin Clark No. 1. In an instant, everything changed. Another date, 6 months later, will now mark a nearly a significant moment. October 27, 2024, will be signposted as the day in which the Fever officially parted ways with head coach Christy Sides after only 2 seasons. The Clark era is still here, but the franchise's direction changed. Kelly Krauskopf, the recently hired Fever president of basketball operations, seemed to say as much in her statement regarding Sides' dismissal. Sides was hired by Lynn Dunn, who moved into an advisory role after the 2024 season. Sides went 33-47 in 2 years. Krauskopf referred to Sides' tenure as an integral transition period. Krauskopf added, "It is also imperative that we remain bold and assertive in the pursuit of our goals, which includes maximizing our talent and bringing another WNBA championship back to Indiana." Bold and assertive. Those 2 words appear to define the Fever's new path. They are no longer transitioning. They are thinking big. Even with Clark in 2023 No. 1 pick Aaliyah Boston leading the franchise, the goal for last season was to make the playoffs. Dunn was clear about her desires to snap a 7-year drought. Clearly now, after Clark's record-setting rookie season, expectations are much higher. The Fever are eyeing their first title since 2012. A transcendent star accelerates timelines. In the NBA, LeBron James' first head coach, Paul Silas, oversaw just the first season and a half of James' time in Cleveland. Michael Jordan's first coach, Kevin Lowry, was with MJ for only 1 year. In the WNBA, Candace Parker's first professional coach, Michael Cooper, lasted just 2 seasons with the star forward. Same with Diana Taurasi's first coach, Carrie Graf. Dunn drafted and coached Sue Bird during Bird's first season out of UConn. But by Bird's second year, Ann Donovan paced the Storm sideline. Add Sides to the list of coaches who were hired for a developmental job, thrown into another and were made a casualty as a result. The Fever are led by Clark. But with Sunday's decision, they are Krauskopf's franchise too. Krauskopf initially led the team from 2000 until 2018, when she left to become the Pacers' assistant general manager and the first woman in NBA history to hold an executive basketball management role. She previously made the postseason 13 times and played in 3 WNBA finals in 7 years, including capturing the 2012 WNBA title. A desire to replicate those successes is why she has returned. Familiarity seems like it will matter in Indiana's coaching search. That might mean trying to poach current Connecticut Sun coach Stephanie White for another reunion. According to the Chicago Sun-Times, White is still under contract with the Sun but had recent talks with the Fever about the head coaching role. Krauskopf and White know each other well. White, an Indiana native and Purdue alum, played for the Fever from 2000 to 2004. She was then an assistant coach from 2011 to 2014 and later coached the Fever in 2015 and 2016. Now widely regarded as one of the league's top coaches, she has experience and achieved recent success as she installed a new offense in Connecticut. She won Coach of the Year in 2023, led the Fever to the 2015 finals, and has drawn greatness out of stars such as Tamika Catchings and Alyssa Thomas. She would likely, in Krauskopf's words, maximize Indiana's talent, which is also expected to target veterans in free agency to pair with Clark and Boston. There were obvious needs for improvement under Sides. Defense and diversifying Clark's shot efficiency are 2 of the growth areas for the next coach to tackle. But the Fever's decision to part with Sides seems less about the player-coach relationship and more about what Krauskopf thinks can happen with a player, Clark, leading the way. Sides and Clark regularly discussed strategy as well as how Clark was handling pressure on and off the court. As last season progressed, Clark became a more effective shooter and driver, and the Fever won 9 of 14 games after the All-Star break while Clark went on to lead them to the playoffs and win Rookie of the Year. Kroskoff even applauded Seitz for this progress. When Dunn was hired as GM, she said she wanted to get out of the lottery by her third season. She did that. Now, under Kroskoff, no longer are lottery parties acceptable. Championship celebrations are the goal. Clark and the Fever will be playing under a new coach and general manager, Amber Cox, next spring. The Fever are done experimenting. A star has again accelerated a championship timeline, and a coach again paid the price.